Calvin, so kind of give us an update on what's going on with matter and trade that involves us, if you would.
Thank you, Larry, and I apologize. See everyone, but we continue to work on several projects at Phipps Bend. First one, and I guess the biggest project is Lot 17. What we are calling the due diligence and additional efforts. All that work is now complete. We have the sewer line is designed, the grading plan is designed. There's just a few tweaks we've got to make to the specifications that would be necessary to get the project out for bid. And then the railroad spur is for the most part completed. They did ask us to come back and change some of the cross sections in the railroad, and we're taking care of that as well. But at the end of the day, the Corps of Engineers will not issue that permit until we basically have a buyer. So we've got everything ready to go if and when that happens. Same thing with the sewer line. I don't see any reason we couldn't go ahead and do that relocation, but there's really no need to do that until we know that a industry's coming and what their footprint's going to involve. So relocating the sewer line may not even be necessary, but we have the plans to get that done. With the water improvements there at Phipps Bend for Chirgonsville Utility District, we've had this project designed now for a year. Rural Development has been reviewing and re-reviewing, and quite frankly, they've been the holdup. But Jason spoke to them this past Friday, and they indicated they would have us a comment email by the end of this week. Once we get those comments, we can address those, get everything back to them, and then we can advertise the project. But this has been going on for a tremendous amount of time, and I asked the question, why? Why is it taking so long? And rural development, like everybody else, has had a lot of staff turnover. They're not able to get the plans reviewed and get them turned around like they normally would. Plus, they've got all of this federal funding that's coming through, that's being funneled through rural development. So their goal is to get projects identified and get projects funded. That's their priority. So getting the projects that have been approved and funded and designed is kind of taking the back seat, which is kind of counter to what we're trying to accomplish. But at the end of the day, we've got those projects ready to bid. Once we get their approval, we'll get that out to bid. We'll be doing the tank rehab project and then the water line improvements that we've been discussing now for roughly 2 years. The survey work that we've been doing for Simcoe and Project Heat is complete. Brought that to Rebecca today. We are also doing a topo survey for the properties for Project Heat. They've asked us to do that with plans for their site. So the field work has been completed, and we'll finish that up later this week. The Cardinal Glass sewer line, we've been discussing that now for several months. One of the big obstacles for that was the bridge over the railroad there on AFU Road, and we have got that project now included in the TDOT plans. We submitted those about 3 weeks ago, and Jeremy has a water line that's also would be attached to that bridge. So we're still working with Cardinal Glass and the city of Churchill on the proposed connection. And what that would do is get Cardinal Glass completely out of the domestic wastewater business, and they would pump their wastewater to the city of Churchill. So there's a lot of moving parts there, but we're working with the city, we're working with Cardinal Glass, and trying to get all that worked out. I think that's pretty much everything, unless anyone has any specific questions.